So this is a brief explanation of my little loadout that I played with right now. It tinkers, but it teaches you a basic lesson of why you should masterwork all your gear. Make sure you think about your exotics, your weapon exotics. It really doesn't matter unless you're like building onto that one exotic weapon, so you can like maximize it. But since I don't got the what's it called, the catalyst. Oh, sorry, I went blank there. The catalyst, the sacred, the casualty quiver, because I'm working on that. Uh, it doesn't really matter if it's masterwork or not, but pretty much I got this is a stasis main loadout for a hunter. I got the Seraph Officer Revolver, you know what I mean, just drop mag, time payload for an extra bang, targeting just to help me with the aim assist, ambitious assassin, so the more kills I get, the more it lets me hold into the magazine. So to like 14 I think. But it has the range of masterwork, so it helps on the distance, on the damage effectiveness. TQ divination, everybody knows that. Falling guillotine, it's masterworked. It has energy transfer, which I kind of like because I block a lot. Like when I'm reviving somebody, I hold L2 and it guards. So while guarding while receiving damage generates class ability energy. So that lets me dodge, right? It gives me my dodge real quick when I got surrounded on it. So this weapon gains bonus damage when 3 or more enemies are in close proximity. And I got the surrounded spec. Increases the damage granted by surrounded. Bonus damage lingers for a brief time when no longer surrounded by 3 or more enemies. With the masterwork impact, alright? So that's that, you know what I mean? I got the masterwork hold fast master, so let's put 10 in the slot. You gotta remember all this is calculated, so I mean it's a void armor, a void powered armor set, let's just say, because mods come into effect with this. Okay, you gotta unlock mods so you can make them work onto your armor. So I got no mods for stats, but I got sword ammo finder to help me with my sword. Increases your chance of finding heavy ammo while I have a sword equipped. So while I have my sword, it's easier for me to find heavy. But when it drops that type of heavy, it's not the full purple brick. It's just like a little bit of ammo. You gotta understand. It's Bungie's crazy with like the details. I know. This is how I play, so I kind of find this out by myself. But Dynamo reduces super cooldown when using your class ability near enemies. They should have put near enemies in caps, because they gotta be like surrounded. It has to be like 3 or 2. I mean near. So it's kind of hard on PvP, but this is pretty much just a play style. I mean, if you're gonna PvP, they got mods for that too. And high energy fire, while charged with light, gain a bonus to damage to weapon damage. Each defeated combatant consumes 1 stack of charge with light. Okay, so that dynamo only works with the void. You gotta understand, it's a void mod, so you have to have void armor. It doesn't matter which kind of grass. These are ornaments, you know. Most of them are just paid ornaments, but yeah. This is a solar powered armor. I have a mobility with 3 mobility costs. You know, it costs 3 of my slots to put this mod in there. So I got the mobility that will increase my mobility by 10 stat points. Stat points being these right here. And bow reloader for my bow. My exotic bow increases reload speed of bow. So that means after I let go of the bow, he picks up the bow and puts it into the slot faster. I mean, and a fastball increases grenade throw distance. I understand, hey, everybody's like, oh, I know this shit, but I gotta explain it full detail. That way you understand what I'm talking about, okay? Fastball increases grenade throw distance. So pretty much, my grenade won't curve down as fast as if they're further away, because the further they are, the more it curves. I mean, you gotta think of like a bullet drop. Like this is gravity. You know what I mean? Supercharged. This mod's effects stack with other copies of this mod. You can have 2 additional stacks of charge with light up to a maximum of 5. Okay, and this is solar Solar mod. So you gotta have solar armor to have this mod. You know what I mean? That one has 88 points. Okay, this has 87 points. It's an arc chest piece, and it has 3 mobility, which is 10 mobility stat points. Sword reserves. It enables me to get, increases the amount of sword ammo you can carry. Concussive dampener. This is a good one. Okay, so when they hit you, like say if they stop, a boss stomps or something, or like a grenade explodes far away from you, if you jump in the right time, right before it blasts, or like they hit you, it has a possibility for your shield to pretty much take the impact and blast you off, like shoot you back. You know what I mean? There is another one that's melee damage resistance, which is more effective in PvP. You know what I mean? But it's pretty much almost the same thing, but you won't fly back. You know what I mean? You understand? So I kind of found this one's older than this. This just barely came out not too long ago. But this, I played with this. I have some clips where you see me flying back, and it's because of this. That's what I think. Resilience has to do a lot with it too, but I'm thinking it's mainly this. If you don't have high enough resilience in your rolls like I do, this will help me out. And Lucent Blade. This mod's secondary perk is active when at least one other arc mod is socketed into this armor, or when at least one other arc charged with light mod is socketed into another piece of armor you are wearing. So if I have another one of these arc in a arc armor, it's cool. Or I had to have an arc one, an arc resistance or something like here, in the same one for this secondary perk to enable. And this is while charged with light, dealing with damage with the sword gives you bonus sword damage for 5 seconds, consuming 1 stack of charge with light. And the second perk is, since I do have that other one, is greatly increases the charge rate of your equipped swords. The charge rate being the guard. You know what I mean? And in order for you to do your heavy attack, your the L2, the middle thing of your weapons has to be all the way fully charged, and for you to do this, since I got the fallen guillotine, the heavy whirling blade thing, so it recharges a lot faster. You know what I mean? Real fast. All right, on to the next one. You gotta remember, all this works in unison. Okay, so if I'm dodging and all that, it gives me that plus the sword and all that. All those, it won't say it on the side, but they're hidden benefits, you know, and it really does work. Okay, and these are my exotics. The Bombardiers. This gives, I have their arc, and it gives me up to 10 if you use a certain amount of materials, which are pretty hard to get. You know, you gotta have exotic shards and shit. But this I put one energy cost mobility, which is the minor, and it gives me +5 mobility, which is one. You know, I mean, for 1 stat point on these 10. And sword scavenger. Swords get bonus reserves when you pick up ammo. So for my fallen guillotine, you know, I get to pick up more ammo. And traction grants tighter turn radius while sprinting. So while I'm running with my sword, I can turn a lot faster. You know what I mean? It helps with my handling while I'm in third person. And reactive pulse, or like when I'm like running with the hand cannon in PvP and I turn the wall and stuff, it works with that too. Reactive pulse. This mod's secondary perk is active when that's the same thing. While charged with light, when you take damage while surrounded by combatants, you emit a burst of damaging arc energy, consuming 1 stack of charge with light. So when somebody's like, there's ads or something around me, and there's 3 or more, it'll make a blast. You know what I mean? Or possibly even PvP. I'm not sure. I haven't really checked on that. And the secondary perk, since I do got the other secondary mod and the other armor, gain a powerful overshield while you're performing your finisher. So while you're in PvE or like an array or something, if you get surrounded and you see somebody with a gold over an ad over with a gold orb over his head, go up to it and click R3. You know what I mean, for your finisher. And what do you call it? It should finish him and give you an overshield, which gives you enough time to recover if you're within that window of recovery. You know what I mean? If your recovery is high enough. And last, Masterwork Cloak, of course, for 10. Mobility mod, plus 10. Mobility distribution. Reduces all ability cooldowns when using your class ability near enemies. So it reduces the all of your abilities, pretty much your dodge, grenade, your melee, excuse me, by a fraction. Not don't believe it's gonna be super dramatic fast, you know what I mean? But by a fraction. I have enough for that, you know what I mean? You gotta add them up, you know, 3, 3, and 4 is 10. Taking charge. Become charged with light by picking up orbs of power. So pretty much, I depend on this green one in order for these yellow goldenrod looking ones, these mustard looking ones, for them to activate. And the stacks are going to be like on the left hand screen right here. They'll tell you how many stacks you got. So in order for me to carry more, I gotta have this supercharged, which will enable me to have, since I can only collect 2 right now without any of these, I'll have 2 additional, so I'll go up to 4. If I have another one, it'll help out with 5. But yeah, so I could trade 4 charged with light stacks. And yeah, remember, my class ability cooldown is every 11 seconds. So whatever benefits I get from my armor, it adds to this with the mods. So if I dodge, it's gonna be faster than 11. You gotta understand. I mean, you gotta implement that into everything. And I'm gonna tell you now, my subclass Revenant, since I am working on it still, and it's gonna get a lot stronger. This has some math to do with everything too. Okay, you gotta think about it. So everybody knows the silence is squall. Gambler's dodge. I mean, the dodge performs a death tumble, avoiding enemy attacks. Dodging near enemies fully recharges your melee ability. So when I dodge, I get 1 charge of the melee instantly. And you gotta remember, with my armor mods, if there's somebody around me, it's gonna make an arc blast. And if there's or if I dodge, it's gonna drop a bomb, because my Bombardier's exotic perk is it drops a bomb every time I dodge. And with every time I dodge, when there's enemies around, I get a benefit on the recharge rate to my abilities to my mods. You know what I mean? So you gotta all those factors in together. So every time I dodge, I almost instantly get everything back. You know what I mean? And the strafe jump, while airborne, jump a second time with a strong directional control. Pretty much, if I jump forward, I can jump backwards real fast on the second jump, or I can launch forward with the bonus thrust. You know what I mean? That's strafing. Or if I gotta do somewhere long, I'll go to the triple jump. You know what I mean? Or the high jump if it's like there's an upscale wall that I can't reach. I do that high jump. Withering blade, pretty much the shuriken. I mean, you toss one, they slow down. If you toss both right after, when both charges are full, it'll instantly freeze them. You know what I mean? And it has a bit of tracking. Dustfield grenade, a grenade that shatters on impact, leaving behind a shadow field. It slows targets and freezes those who do not leave the volumes. Okay, so while they're in there, you know what I mean, it will freeze them and stuff. You know what I mean? So it just throws them afterwards, everything, whatever. Winter Shroud. I mean, it lets you have 1 fragment for this aspect. So this aspect lets you only have 1 fragment down there. I mean, that's what fragment slots mean. A desire for legs to be known preserves sterile glass, blah blah blah. Dodging slows nearby targets. So when I dodge, it slows them down. It slows them down. It drops the bomb. I pretty much get my abilities back ASAP. Which shouldn't take that long, because my mobility is like super high, so my dodge is like a big factor. You know what I mean? That's why I have 102. And it slows, drops bombs. You know, I can get away quick, revive whoever I gotta revive. You know what I mean? And then Grim Harvest, defeating slowed or frozen combatants create stasis shards. These shards grant melee energy when picked up by you or your allies. I mean, so the little crystals you see everywhere laid out, they look like crystals you find in the cave, quartz crystals. I mean, they will give you a bit your melee ability. So, and it has 2 fragment slots on this aspect. So let's put 2 down here. That's why I have 3 in total. I mean, 1 and 2 makes 3. So if I find another one that has 2, you know what I mean, I could put up to 4. I mean, but this is for the hunter. So, Whisper of Fissures, you know what I mean, increases damage and size burst of stasis when you destroy a stasis crystal or defeat a frozen target. So pretty much when I dodge, it blows up. I mean, apart it from giving everything me back, it increases the damage and the size of that explosion of them blowing up from the stasis crystal. Whether if I throw the grenade or they're like frozen and I just dodge to get out the way, I mean, they're just gonna instantly almost blow up. You know what I mean? So that's an added buff, a buff on a buff on a buff, pretty much. And Whisper of Durance, slow from your abilities last longer. For those abilities that linger, their duration will also increase. And the benefit, it gives me 10 strength. So every time I dodge, it's gonna last even longer. You know what I mean? For those abilities that linger, their duration will also increase. You gotta understand. You know what I mean? It's gonna, not my, just my abilities regenerate when I dodge. My abilities regeneration rate should, in theory, or in hypothesis, but in my view, I think it does affect, because I know the difference. But I played this for for a while, and it does affect it from. I mean, that's why you seen a clip of me just running around like stupid and shit, trying to save everybody. But I'm learning. You know what I mean? Trial and error. So it gives me 10, and Whisper of Torment. You gain grenade energy each time you take damage from combatants. So while I'm doing all this dodging and bobbing and weaving and stuff, and I'm getting hit, my grenade's getting charged. If I hit the sword with the guard, my abilities are getting charged. You know what I mean? Hand cannon up close. This has fucking aimbot, which is gonna be the buff for the second shot while I, you know what I mean? While I aim down. Oh shit, I'm getting surrounded from the side, from the back. Dodge back. Boom. It's gonna slow them down instantly. Throw the grenade. Get my abilities, the regeneration buff, and blow them up. And I'm gonna get away and just keep it moving. Keep it moving. Boom, boom, boom. Pull out the sword. I got the loosened blade because of all the orbs and stuff. You know, from the Masterworks. Or if somebody dropped a super, boom, 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 insta buff. So after 5 seconds, I got the Fallen Guillotine charged up with the buff from the Orb of Light, the Surrounded, plus the Surrounded spec, and if they're slowed down with like frozen and shit, bust them up. It's just, yeah, massacre. But thank you. Just me doing crazy things. Y'all have a good one.